that was fun.
Editing up this preview, I added in some sound effects so you can watch it around your kids or watch it at work without having to worry about any crazy stuff, so it's completely family friendly and just for comedic effect, because I think it's kind of funny.
This is Roy Cannaday from Epic Gaming Night, and today we're taking a look at a new game from Cool Mini or Not. This is Kick. Can you tell us a little bit about the game?
Yeah, absolutely. So this is Kick. It's based on the comic book by Mark Millar and John Romita Jr. And so the idea in this game is you're going to play a superhero from the comic book, and you're working cooperatively with the other players in the game to try and fight crime and save the city. So all of this is going on, and minions of different supervillains are going to show up on the board, and you have to travel around the city fighting them and clearing off different districts of the city. However, at the same time you're doing all of this, you're going to have to balance your personal life, your social life, and also your social media accounts. So you are going to be balancing the difficult life of a superhero with the difficult life of...
So is that like when you beat up the bad guy, you have to take like an Instagram selfie with them?
There is, in fact, actually I've got here one of the items you can get is a selfie stick, and that is going to each round improve your social media status.
Does this cost you money to get it, and then you get extra likes?
Yes, exactly. So you can, each round you can like access that and get extra likes throughout the course of the game. So each player is going to be a superhero, as I said, and they'll have representation on the board by like a super sweet mini.
Nice.
And they'll have their own personal dashboard where they can keep track of different items that they have, like bulletproof vest, weapons that are going to help them fighting minions and whatnot. And their strength is going to develop, their social media standing, their health, and also their personal happiness, because that's going to go up and down depending how much they have to fight or what their relationship with other people is throughout the course of the game. You're going to need money in the game, too, to do some of the things. So you're going to have to work your day job, which stinks.
Oh, crazy.
Yeah. But what happens throughout the game, the mechanics-wise, is everybody has a starting deck. So, like, based on the superhero that you're going to be, you're going to have a starting deck of cards. And you've got blue cards, which relate to your everyday life, your job, your relationships, that sort of thing. And then we've got red cards, which are going to allow you to fight the minions as they come on the board. So minions are going to start to come to different areas of the board, and you're going to have to
try to protect the city.
Yeah, exactly. So you're going to have to move around and fight these guys as they show up. And it's going to be sort of like an overwhelming force at a certain time. You're going to lose, like, as you go along each round, new events will come up, so you'll deal with an event that shows up. That could be, in this case, it's a super villain who shows up, and he's going to he's going to be a challenge for you to face throughout the game. And what the goal of the game is to defeat two of these events before they slide off the board, because if you defeat them, you get a special reward. If they slide off the board, there's going to be a punishment for it.
Gotcha.
But also, if you defeat...
Does the punishment affect like all the players, or...?
Yes, it's going to be a negative or a positive for all the players, whether or not you do it. So I said two events. It's three events in like a longer game, two events in sort of like a shorter version game.
Cool.
And if you're able to complete those things, then you will face off against the supervillain who's got his own plot for the course of the round. So in this version, we're playing against Red Mist. So we have to. So his plot is that he'll be hidden throughout the city, and we have to. He's got all these different. Like minions who are dressed up as him, so you have to track down which one is actually him, and you'll be taking on certain events that relate specifically to the supervillain.
So it adds in like that thematic story part of the game a little bit.
Absolutely. So it is absolutely thematic. Like you very much feel, like kind of like one of the hooks of the Kick comic book is that they are superheroes, but they're also ordinary people. So you get that feeling that you are trying to strike that balance between
all the different aspects of the character.
Yeah,
that's really cool.
Yeah, and as you hit different areas around the city, you're also able to tap into certain aspects of the city. Like, for example, if you go to the hospital, if you activate the hospital location, heal up a bit. If you go to Wall Street, your happiness level can go down a bit, but you make a little bit of money. It's like you're working your day job, sort of
and
thing.
this cleanup, that's if you take care of all of the
exactly.
bad guys there,
If you take out, if you take out the last characters in an area and last minions in an area, you'll get the cleanup bonus.
So if you clean up Wall Street, you get $1. If you clean up City Hall, you get more Facebook likes.
Yeah, exactly. You get more. You get that social media presence goes up a bit. Yeah. So it really does have this. So at the start of the game, your stats, you have starting stats for all the different characters and some starting equipment and a little bit of money.
Are all the characters asymmetrical when you start, or?
Yes, they have their own sort of specific starting stats. Like, for example, Kick, he starts with like a lot of health because he's tough to beat up. Other people will start with like higher social media status or like be stronger at the beginning. And different things you can do throughout the game will make you stronger or up your likes, and those all lead to you being better able to face the minions and the plots that are taking place around the city. You also have some hardships. So as you're playing the game, if your happiness drops down to a certain level, you're going to reveal a hardship. And so you might have, in this case, insomnia. If you have insomnia, you have to roll one less red dice, which is one of your attack dice, which is not going to be really good.
Yeah.
But if you can't sleep, you're not going to be fighting as well.
So you definitely want to keep your happiness or your stress level up.
Absolutely.
Or away from being bad.
Absolutely. And if you raise it back up, you're able to sleep again at night. So if you get to be a little bit happier, your sleeping problems go away.
So to clean that up a little bit, you want to go to the park and hang out and chill out a little bit, so you can.
That can get you some more happiness. Some of the cards will give you more happiness. Like if you go out on a date with your significant other, that sort of thing, it'll like raise up your happiness in different ways too. Working out sometimes makes you a little healthier, makes you a little happier as well. So like there's different ways to adjust the happiness level up and down throughout the course of the game. So what happens is there's an event phase where new events are revealed, all the old events move forward, and then we go through the day phase, which is 3 different times we're going to spawn new minions on the board, and then everybody is going to, from their hand, select either a card that's going to help them with their everyday life or a fighting card. So depending on the board situation, you're going to decide that. But you can all openly discuss it because we have the shared goal of saving the city.
Gotcha.
So I might be in a state where I'm like, you know what? I'm miserable right now. I need to go do something that's going to raise my happiness up. I just got to go to Central Park, spend some time in the park. And somebody else might say, well, we gotta, save the library because if we don't, the city's going to be overrun, so I'm going to go fight there. So you all can openly discuss what you're going to do. And then you reveal your cards and take care of the actions there.
Nice.
And then at the end of 3 rounds of the day phase, you're going to go into the refresh phase where anything you use that round gets unused, and you get you get the opportunity to get new cards. So there's always going to be new fight cards available and new like personal life cards available, and you can openly discuss who needs what. Like if you need to be a stronger fighter, maybe you need some more red cards.
It's very cooperative in that aspect.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you kind of look at the board state and decide what it is you're going to do. And if you happen to raise up your social media status to the top level, you have become famous. You've become a super famous superhero, and you get access to your green card, which is just a super powerful card that's going to help you out. Like, if you can raise it up that high, that's super helpful.
So you get to unlock new special abilities.
Exactly.
Cool. So another thing I heard was really cool was that the rulebook has like actual comic book art in it as well.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. So the comic book we had a lot of fun with. It's got art from John Romita Jr. And yeah, some of the rules are sort of explained through comic book, which is very neat and just like kind of a simpler way to show off how the game goes, and it adds a sense of humor. Like throughout the rule book, it brings the sort of same sense of humor as the comic book. So very cool in that sense.
So if you're into the whole kick world, you'll be right at home in this game.
Absolutely, absolutely, and it's an interesting cooperative game where you don't have that alpha player element because each person has their own strengths and weaknesses, and there are things that they have to do on their round. So I think that what we've done well with this one is really, drove home the idea of being like, these are superheroes, but they're ordinary people too.
Gotcha. That's really cool. I like that aspect of the game, like trying to balance your personal life with the whole thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. So when should we be looking for this sort of thing? Or
so we're looking at August for a release on this one. We're hoping for Gen Con.
Awesome. So cool. That's Kick from Cmon Games. Thanks so much for showing it to us.
No problem.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure to check out more reviews and Favorite Game Friday from Epic Gaming Night. Also check out their weekly podcast and social media for more epic content.